Hello, everyone. I'm Dijon.
And I'm Amir.
Welcome to the Mustacast, the podcast about the art of storytelling and how it's used across different media. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see our channel grow, and to click the notification bell so that you're notified when we post. Today we have a guest, my friend Brianna Kelly. Say hello.
Hello.
So,
Followed by minutes of awkward silence.
yeah, I was thinking, is there anything you want to tell us about yourself before we start?
Well, I am a digital artist. My handles are jackal.ts on Instagram and Twitter. And currently, I am trying to work on a webcomic. A couple webcomics, actually. But they're in the works.
We're going to start off with what media we're consuming. You're our guest. We'll actually let you start, and then Amir will go, and then I'll go last.
Say again?
So we're going to start with media consuming. Any books you've been reading, comics, whatever, shows you've been watching, movies you've been watching.
I haven't been watching much lately. As for anime goes, or like I've been reading a manga called My Senpai's Annoying, and like I know it sounds weird, but like it's pretty okay for like the most part. I really like the characters. Like the designs of the characters actually pretty cool. Like they actually included a black character finally, and like they aren't really written as weird as they normally are. She's actually pretty cool. But that's one thing I'm watching. There's a show that I'm about to start watching. It's kind of like Invincible if you ever watched it. I'm sure you have. But it's about these kids who get these powers and one tries to be a hero and it just goes horribly wrong.
Both of us have read all of them.
Well, now you know. All right. There's another show. It's Netflix exclusive. I forget what it's called though.
All right, there you can go.
Okay, so I've been consuming a lot of media, and doing absolutely no schoolwork, and this is why I'm probably not doing all too well in my classes. But, uh, I'm gonna start off with what's probably gonna surprise you, Dijon. I watched the first two episodes of Hawkeye. Um,
That doesn't.
and
Oh, I knew you were gonna.
that doesn't surprise you. I told you I wasn't gonna watch it. I told you I was gonna watch it.
You're gonna watch it anyway.
I genuinely didn't plan on watching it, but I got bored and I was like, all right, I might as well. And I got curious. Um,
We'll
and
talk.
honestly,
We'll
as
talk.
much as I,
We'll talk.
what?
We can
We'll talk about it? Okay. All right. All right. I've been playing Battlefield 2042. I've been playing it so much that I'm genuinely had dreams about Battlefield. I've been playing it like a little too much. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. It has problems, yeah, but like, I remember the days of like long neck operators in Battlefield 4, so like no Battlefield has had a smooth launch since like Bad Company, so I'm not really, I don't know, like I don't really expect a smooth launch from Dice at all anymore, but it'll be a good game by the time by like next couple months through all the patches and stuff. But it's a lot of fun, a whole lot of fun. I've been playing Minecraft a little bit more. That's been pretty interesting because I haven't played Minecraft, at least survival. I haven't played survival in over a year. I just usually play creative, but I started Survival World a couple days ago. Excuse me. And I started Uncharted 4. I
Fine.
don't know why I started Uncharted 4. I still haven't finished Uncharted 3. I'm very close to the end of Uncharted 3.
Well, finish Uncharted 3 first.
I'm very close to the end of Uncharted 3. Like I have like barely anything like left, but I don't feel like reinstalling the Nathan Drake collection on my PS4. I'm just gonna play Uncharted 4.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just gonna play Uncharted 4.
At least watch
Uh,
a video.
I'm having fun with 4. I'm having fun with 4. What they do with the gunplay in Uncharted 4 is pretty interesting compared to the first 3 games. Cause like you know how it goes, Deshaun, where like you're aiming, but like there's a reticle inside of the reticle that like will move around depending on like each shot placement, and that's been pretty interesting, complicated to deal with, but that's been pretty fun. As far as shows go, I watched Arcane, which of course we're going to talk about. Um, watched Hawkeye, which I just said. What else? I've been rewatching The Witcher because I can't go like without like 2 months without rewatching that show. I love that show so much.
Oh, okay.
Um, oh my god, I love that show. I cannot wait for season two. Like I'm itching. I'm counting down the days.
I'm trying to
Yeah, no,
read the second book.
I think that's about it. Did I finish the? I did finish the last Witch. I need or last Wish. I need to get the second book. I can't wait to get all of them because they're like all like the beautiful red spines. It's just gonna look so good on my bookshelf. I can't wait.
Yeah. So
But yeah, that's about it for me.
yeah. So I I last week I talked about how finally figured out how to download Spider-Man Remastered because it is very complicated for no reason. PlayStation is weird about this. The only way you could get Spider-Man Remastered is if you purchase the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales. And it's been over a year since Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered came out, and you still cannot purchase Spider-Man Remastered separately from Miles Morales in the store. What you have to do is you need to have Miles Morales, open the game, and in the main menu, it will say press R1 for Spider-Man Remastered. You press that, then it will send you to the store where you can pay $20 to get that game. But you couldn't do it before. But yeah, I got the remastered version. Like me and you talked about it, and you said that you didn't notice a difference, but I noticed a difference. And it looks beautiful. I've gotten used to the new face. It doesn't bother me anymore. I still think it was an unnecessary change, but you know, it's whatever. The game didn't suffer too much from it. But yeah, I finished it a couple days ago. I finished my second playthrough. That was fun. I might play the DLC again, but afterwards I immediately started playing Miles Morales, and I remember why I like Miles Morales more. Me, you talked about story versus gameplay, and I talked about how gameplay trumps story for me. And the reason I like Miles Morales more than the first game, even though just barely, is because of the advancements they made in the gameplay and the web slinging, the trick system, and the Venom abilities bring so much more to the combat. That makes it so fun. It makes it so fun. I can't wait for that second.
Every time I go back and replay the first Spider-Man, I struggle in combat because I'm so used to like knocking everybody out with Venom immediately. I'm like, no.
The cool thing that I noticed a long time ago, and I might have talked about, is that Miles doesn't jump as high as Peter when you charge the jump and jump. He doesn't. It also, if you don't use any Venom powers at all, it takes him longer to knock out an enemy. Like there are little subtle differences that they show between Miles and Peter doing that. But I also been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I still haven't beat that game. You know how I feel about RPGs. This game is fun, but it drains the energy from me. I don't know why. I fought a boss and then I was done. And then I went, picked it up again, made it to the next area, to the next chapter, and then I put the controller down again. I'll finish it someday. It might be a year from now. Who knows? I'm close to the end. I know that much. I've been playing some Halo Infinite. I actually haven't played an actual match. I've only been doing the like tutorial because I need some people to play it with. I have some people to play it with. I just need to hit them up again if they're ready. We've been watching Arcane as well. The last 5 episodes of Master of the Universe Revelations was up on Netflix. I watched that.
I still haven't watched any of that. I want to. I keep forgetting it.
I haven't heard of any of these.
Oh yeah, we'll talk more about Master of the Universe in a little bit. I watched Dune. Literally the day before it was taken off HBO Max, I finally watched it. I was scared because it's almost 3 hours long, and I started watching it at like 8 o'clock, and I was scared, and almost like 9 o'clock, and I was scared that I was gonna hit 12 o'clock, and I wasn't gonna be able to watch it. It was just going to take it off the streaming service in the middle of me watching it. But yesterday, I went to go see Resident Evil, Welcome to Racoon City with my little brothers. That was cool. But moving on, it was Turkey Day a couple days ago. You know, happy Turkey Day.
Happy Turkey Day.
Fuck Christopher Columbus as it goes. But moving on, we can go to animation. Netflix is starting a Power Rangers cinematic universe. You know I like.
Wait, what?
I like Power Rangers. I know you don't. You're not the biggest fan of Power Rangers in here, but I love me some Power Rangers. And I just.
In my opinion, Power Rangers. I know I'm gonna catch flack for this, but in my opinion, Power Rangers is just like the ultimate like.
It does not hold up at all.
It does not hold up at all, like whatsoever. Even the newer ones are just terrible. Like I don't.
They always have been.
At all. But the reason I like Power Rangers is because I liked it when I was younger, and I can see the potential of it being really cool. They just don't do much with it. And I'm excited for for Netflix to start doing more stuff with it outside of just taking old footage from the Japanese version and repurposing it for an American version. I think they should do something original. I would love for their animated series because there are Power Ranger comics that are pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I just hope they make an animated series. Young Justice.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Wait, I was gonna say something. I completely forgot. Hold on. Wait a sec. Wait for it to come back. What was your favorite Power Ranger show growing up?
It was Dino Thunder.
Trash. All right.
What? The white Power Ranger in Dino Thunder has the best Power Ranger design of any Power Ranger.
The gold Power Ranger in Super Samurai. That was the best Power Ranger design.
That white Ranger, that was my favorite Ranger just because of the way he looked. He looked so cool. The closest, the Black Ranger in it was like I forget the series after. It was Zeo, the Black Ranger in Zeo that people always use when they say like that meme where it's like the black turtleneck with the chain combo, and they show a picture of the Black Zeo Ranger. That's probably my second favorite Power Ranger costume. I judge them based off their costumes. That's what I do. The only person I don't judge based off their costumes is Tommy, because he's just the coolest Power Ranger. And he always comes back in every series, even if they're not connected. But, Young Justice. I haven't been feeling this season of Young Justice. I like it even less than the last season. I enjoyed the last season way more than you did. You didn't even finish season 3. But season 4, I am not.
And I'm never going to.
I'm really not finishing season 4. I am struggling to gain the motivation to watch an episode every week. I'm gonna be because I say it they keep adding characters without even expanding on the characters that they already introduced that we still haven't gotten enough information about, but they keep adding new ones. They need to chill out. And someone on Twitter pointed out how currently there are about like 3 DC animated series, happening right now, where I feel like early 2000s, there were way more. There were a bunch of DC animated shows happening at once. And like, I feel like they could take, much like how I talk about with Titans, how they can make a Bat Family show. With Young Justice, they could take several different characters and give them their own shows that take place within the same universe, rather than trying to jam all of these character stories into one show, because they're doing too much and it's affecting the story in a negative way.
Personally, I've been loving season 4. Okay, you know how I felt about the first 4 episodes. The first 4 episodes, I don't even think I finished like episode 4. Like I was just like, I was bored. I skipped to the end because people were like, oh, something happened at the end. I skipped to the end of the episode. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really care. Like it failed to impact me at all. I was like, eh. But I've been loving this arc with Artemis and Leanne and Cheshire. And I think it's just because I care about these characters a lot more. Like, you know how I feel. The Bat Family is like some of my favorite characters in like all the comics altogether. And like any characters related to that, I'm much more interested than in, as opposed to like Miss Martian and like Martian racism. Like, I don't know. I'm just having more fun with season 4 than you are, but
that Martian,
I don't know. To each their own.
That Martian racism was way funnier than they wanted it to be. I know, but it was so funny.
Wasn't it like red versus green or something like that?
Red versus green. No, it's white versus green.
It's white versus green.
White versus green. Yeah.
Also, yeah. Which are like the like royal Martians, and like essentially, me and him joking about how they essentially wrote on her door.
Oh no!
They wrote the white Martian equivalent of on her door. I'm gonna bleep that out, but
they put a burning cross on her front lawn essentially.
What
like,
the heck?
Yeah, no, like they really,
isn't there like no difference between them though?
No, nothing at all. There's literally a point where somebody goes, "You're all literally the exact same. You just have different skin color."
They just wanted something to beef about. They just wanted something to argue about.
I mean, it's literally
Steppenwolf was literally like, you're all the exact same. There's no reason to fight. Like
allegory for racism in real life. Like we're all the same. We just have different skin colors.
Right.
That's the only difference. But have you seen like the first few seasons of Young Justice? Brianna?
I've seen it like here and there, not enough to like remember, because I used to watch it as it was coming out when I was younger, but then I just stopped.
It's wild how old Young Justice is. That show started in 2010.
It still seems like really good. Like the animation stuff is like still really nice. Like it held up.
Studio animating is the same studio that did Legend of Korra, so the animation is fantastic.
I didn't know.
The animation
okay.
is great.
And the same studio that Legend of Korra did animated Witcher movie, and that
makes sense because the Witcher movie had some amazing animation.
To this day, I stand by the fact that season 4 is probably my second least favorite season of Korra, but it has some of the best fights in the entire series. Kuvira fighting Sulin was great. But anyway, Masters of the Universe. I'm not gonna spoil it because neither of you have seen it. But Masters of the Universe, which obviously is a He-Man show, Revelations, it's fire. That show is great. The beginning of the second part, I was a little iffy on, but that last episode, literally paid every single thing off. That last episode was so hype. I don't want to spoil nothing, but man, was it good.
I'm excited to see it. I really do. I'm really excited to see it. I like so serious. I just keep forgetting it's out unless like I see some like controversy about it on Twitter, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is out, and I forget about it again.
It focuses on Tila more than it does He-Man, but He-Man literally had a whole show to himself.
Right.
Not that serious, but I want them because I hate that there's the rights for She-Ra and He-Man are separate, so they can't, like, it's hard for them to do stuff with each other. But there was a tease at the end. I'm not going to spoil what the tease was, but the tease might hint at the fact that there's going to be a next season, first off, based on the end of that, the end of the show.
There's going to be another season of Masters of the Universe Revelation?
There's going to be another season because they teased it at the end that there's more to tell. But also they teased that potentially She-Ra could come in to this universe. Master of the Universe is also, Brianna, if you didn't know, because you say you didn't hear about it, it's a continuation of the original He-Man show.
Oh, okay.
So if they bring in She-Ra, it will most likely be that original version of She-Ra from her first show back in like the 80s, which I think I want them to cross over. I watched the first, how many seasons of She-Ra is it? Like 5? I watched the first 4. I still haven't finished the last season. I enjoyed the first 4 seasons. I binged it basically, and then I got tired of watching it, and I still haven't finished it yet because I kind of just burnt myself out of it. But
I couldn't really get into it, to be honest. Like my friends were watching it, and I was over when they were watching it, but I just couldn't get hooked on it.
That's fair.
Like, it's okay, it's pretty cool, but like it's not my cup of tea.
I'm not gonna lie, the whole time I was just thinking, I want He-Man to be here.
That is exactly what I was thinking the entire time. I watched the first season in like one night, and I was like, okay, no, where's He-Man though? Like that's all I was thinking about.
But like, I feel like if they do finally start working together again, the two separate people that own He-Man and She-Ra rights, that they could bring a version of He-Man into the She-Ra universe, and then bring in the original She-Ra into the He-Man universe, and still have those two separate shows for the two separate fandoms of He-Man and She-Ra. Moving on.
I grew up watching He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and She-Ra Princess of Power, like the OG ones in like from the 80s or 90s or whatever, and I just want OG She-Ra back. Like she was so cool.
Yeah. But now we're gonna get to the big stuff. We're gonna talk about Arcane. Yep. So we're definitely gonna talk about spoilers. All of us have seen all of it.
Yeah.
I've seen all of it twice, almost 3 times.
I don't have the heart to watch it a second time.
Yeah, I watch every 3 episodes. I watch twice, and then I watch them again with some YouTube reactors, like the full episode. I watch it again with them. It's great. I love the show. Season 2 is in development. It was announced.
I was like, yes, what a great way to end the episode and then start the next season.
Yes. But just start off without any spoilers. I'm just gonna give my little spiel. So I read a tweet that said Arcane is an example of animators being given free reign to do what they do best and just take advantage of the animated medium. And I couldn't agree more. This isn't like a Pixar cartoon where they kind of do realistic skin textures on these super stylized character models, and they have the lighting realistic with like subsurface scattering, which is basically the light hitting your skin and going under it. No, it's just all purely stylized. Even the lighting is painterly. It's literally they're literally 3D models with paint textures over top of them. And something I literally noticed last night that I didn't notice before, because I was wondering, because as I'm watching, I was like, because the lighting isn't realistic, how are they doing it? Do they have to hand animate that paint textures on the face to make it like match every movement? But I realized that the textures are just static. They're the same. Like no matter how they move their face, the different, discolorations on their face are the exact same, and the light is completely separate from that, and it just affects it. It affects it on its own. I don't know if either of you understood what I just said, but
no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
That's what I realized because I wasn't sure if they were like changing the lighting, like doing animation every time a character moved. It would drive me crazy. That would be too much.
I feel like if they did that, Arcane wouldn't be out right now. Like the fact that it took 6 years already, and if they had to focus on that, no.
I heard that The girl who voices Powder was 12 when she recorded, and she's 15 now. I said, "Oh,
Whoa.
we're not getting that season 2 probably till like 5 years from now."
And you know what? I'm
Yeah,
not even
no.
mad at it. I'm not even mad at it.
This thing, we'll probably get it in the next year or two because they'll probably give them way more money.
I don't want them to rush it though, because if they took their time doing it the 6 years, I want them to take their time now, because this was like well executed. The plot and everything was really, really good.
I think what they're gonna do, they're definitely gonna figure out a way to get it out faster. Like I don't think they're gonna try to wait as long. They're not. I don't think they're gonna want to wait as long.
Yeah, because they already have some other stuff in the works, like the game that's coming out. Well, not soon, but they're working on it.
So yeah,
I'm very excited for that game though. I like that game must be incredibly hyped.
yeah. I was gonna say that for the video game section, but we could talk about that here. I forget. I don't remember where I saw. I think it was on Twitter. Maximilian Dude did it, and I started watching it, and Echo immediately became my favorite character just based off character design alone. But then the more I got to learn about his character, he easily became my favorite character. Like the moment he took the mask off, which I assumed it was him the whole time.
Exactly.
I saw his hair and I just saw his design. I was like, there's my favorite character right there. Nobody touches Echo. And then the more we got to learn about him, especially was the episode 7 was called The Boy Savior, and it focused on Echo. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a music video for that song that played several times throughout that episode. And like the animation that they use that goes into 2D rather than the 3D is actually from that music video. I could be mistaken, but I think so. But how you guys feel about Arcane? I've been talking a lot.
Oh, I absolutely love Arcane. Like the fact that they do combine like 3D models with like actual animation, and like they're not even ashamed to do it, because there's some people who like get up in arms and like trying to like make it look cohesive, but the fact that it looks like janky, it just looks well together. That makes sense.
This is definitely a trend that Spider-Verse started, and I want to see it explode everywhere. They did the 3D textures, and now everyone do it. And I want to see it used everywhere. Also, speaking of the animation in the video game, it reminds me of Dragon Ball Fighters and what's that other game?
I was gonna say that. It really looks like Fighters.
That studio also makes another famous fighting game that I can't remember the name of. But yeah, how they try to mimic 2D using 3D. Whereas in the show, they don't really try to mimic 2D. They aren't ashamed of it being 3D, but they put the textures over top of it. But with the video games, it looks more like Dragon Ball Fighters. Like they're trying to do the mimic 2D using 3D. And Fighters looks beautiful, and so does that video game. But also, what I noticed, because you've seen the trailer for the video game, have you, Brianna?
Which Fighters or
Not the trailer, like the gameplay overview they did for Project L, I think it's called. Because if you didn't, there was like a power that they showed Echo having that I don't want to spoil.
Oh yeah. Are you talking about the little watch power, the time power thing?
Because I didn't know.
Or if you play League of Legends,
No, I do not.
Don't. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't.
Like when I was watching that episode last night, Boy Savior, was that they were essentially showing that he's gonna eventually like reverse time when he did like I don't know if you've seen the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. He would visualize like how to do a certain thing, and then he would actually do it, and that's essentially what Echo did. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, this is just like Sherlock Holmes, and essentially I was them showing he's gonna eventually be able to like reverse time. I don't know how.
I thought that was pretty slick.
I was
like, how did he learn to do that? Like, what?
I assume it's gonna be using magic in some form, hex tech.
Knowing what I know about League, it's like I'm not gonna spoil it. Of course, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But like knowing what I know about League, it's just fun to see other people like come up with their own interpretations of what's going on. Like it's a really cool thing. I'm really enjoying it.
The next season comes out before that game does, because I'm gonna want to play the game when it comes out. But I don't want
the game is aimed for 2023.
I don't want stuff from the game to potentially spoil the show.
Yeah.
They could do a sort of, I don't want to say live service because live service is a weird connotation to it now, but like I want to see sort of like a almost like a live service aspect where like they keep introducing new DLC characters in conjunction with what's going on with the show so that it doesn't spoil stuff.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what if they try to keep it?
Let's say, because technically you could piece the story together with the League of Legends games. Like if you go and look at the lore of the characters that are in the show and like look at the next bit of lore for characters, then you could probably figure out what's going to happen in the next season. But I don't want to do that.
I didn't want to look up what Echo looked like in the game until they finally had him take his mask off. And once he took his mask off, I immediately looked up.
Bro, the thing is, I kept getting YouTube ads about what Echo looked like before Echo was even revealed in the show yet. And I was like, who is this? And why are you doing this to me?
I have watched like no YouTube videos where people talk about Arcane other than that Project L video. I'm avoiding it so that my recommendations start showing me.
I got it on a random YouTube video. I was watching gameplay of like a horror game and then Echo pops up on the screen.
That's trash. I would have been so mad. See, look, there it is. 10 minutes. But yeah, is there anything else you guys have to say about Arcane? Because I feel like there's a lot we could talk about, and my brain just doesn't know which to latch onto. I feel like
you said no spoilers right now, because I have like some lore theories that I was talking about with some friends.
No, we can talk about spoilers now. That's fine.
Oh, okay. But I was watching it with Trinette, and we were like looking at the last episode where like they were like wrapping up everything, and it showed like a glimpse of like this thing hanging in like this laboratory. It looked like a wolf, and she was like, huh?
They weren't wrapping up anything. They were setting up everything.
Well, yeah, they were setting up everything for the next season, but she pointed out the wolf that was like hanging from the ceiling in that green laboratory or whatever. And she was like, I have a strong hunch that this is Vander. And I was like, stop, because you're lying.
I thought about that the second time I saw it, and don't you give anything away, Amir, with your foreknowledge. But
I'm not. That's why I'm saying like I'm not gonna say anything regarding like theories or anything because
I started reading up on his lore.
Yeah, because I was like, I saw it and I was like, I didn't notice it until I watched it again last night. I was like, that might be Vander. Because I'm not gonna lie, you said one little small thing last week, Amir, that wasn't a spoiler, but it was close enough. It was close enough that made me think.
I was reading up on his lore about his interactions with other game characters, and I was like, no, because now they're confirming it in a way.
You just gotta avoid all the lore. I'm not interested in the original game at all. It's just not my type of game. And I hope that
the OG game, the amount of memes online about like when you start League of Legends or like those who was it that stupid bus meme where it's like somebody looking at the like cave wall and then people looking outside and there's like people who play League, people who don't play League. Like League of Legends is not. I played like 3 rounds of League. And I can see how people would like.
Everybody who plays League of Legends loves everything about League of Legends except League of Legends. They don't like the actual game.
I feel like that's people that play Destiny because people are like, I tell people I play Destiny, they're like, they're like, you play Destiny? I'm like, yeah, I hate that game. I play it every day. Like that's like my favorite game. I hate it so much.
I tried playing Destiny. It's too much for me. Just like how I tried to play Bloodborne.
Oh, that's another thing. I was replaying Bloodborne a couple, like 3-4 days ago, and I quit almost immediately.
I'm so trash. I couldn't even get past like the first section. I was just, no, I give up. I can't.
Yeah, we talk about, I'm sorry, I heard something in the background. Me and Amir talk about how people get upset when people say, there should be more difficulties in Souls games. But because they feel like when you put forward that option, you're taking something away from them. But it's like, no, we're literally saying to add, not take away. You add more difficulties so that it's more accessible to more people rather than taking away from what's already there. The newer Souls game, which is going to be it seems like it's going to be a lot easier because they have to make it a little easier because it's open world. They have to change certain things. But I want to play Bloodborne, but it probably be too difficult for me. Maybe it won't, but it probably will. And I don't feel like going through that.
I'm very excited for Elden Ring. I want to see how that one's turning out, but that's just because I like Game of Thrones. So
yeah, George R. R. Martin writing the story.
I want to see. No, that's off topic. That's incredibly off topic. What isn't off topic though, regarding Arcane, is I feel like Arcane, just like Harry Potter, I feel like Arcane could be like the next Star Wars. Like they really could do so much.
Because this is only a very tiny speck of the gigantic universe that is League of Legends.
I
And
would say this entire season took place in one city. Like this is one city during one time period regarding like five or so champions in the League of Legends like universe. Like there could be so much more throughout the entire world.
they could make multiple series. Just
That's
basically,
what I
They
would
could make
say.
multiple series.
they can make some animated movies. They could do a lot.
I know
I
Deshaun was
forgot
gonna
this
hate what I'm
world
about
was
to
like
say,
that
but I
massive.
wanna...
Yeah, they could
Wait,
do.
what were you saying, Brianna?
I was saying I forgot the world was that massive. Cause I was like, what about all the other characters? Like, there's some characters who legit have like powers and everything. Where are they? But then I realized, yeah, you're right. It is a very small fraction of what League of Legends is.
I also don't want to know what any of the characters look like either. Like Next Million Dude, fighting game YouTuber who I watched a Project L video from. He posted a video where he was looking through the characters because he wanted to kind of theorize how they might play in the fighting game. And I couldn't watch it. I wanted to watch it, but I just couldn't watch that video because I don't want to know what any of the characters look like. I want it all to be a surprise for me.
I want to see.
I already
I
know
want to...
what a good
no, I
chunk
do
of the
too.
characters look like because of like music videos. Like they have a bunch of like promo videos for characters like who come out and everything, and those are like really cool. So I don't know if they'll be like a part of Arcane or anything, but it's kind of hard to avoid it if you like the music videos and everything.
I've heard a lot about those, but like I've never seen any.
They're so well animated. Like there's whatever team worked on this, can I get y'all a number because I need help in the future.
That animates those videos actually are the team that animated the show.
I need their handles.
Yeah. So
I
anything
know Deshaun's gonna hate this, but I want to see a League of Legends RPG or like an Arcane RPG or like something like an RPG set in that universe. I know you like
If
get
it's-
a sour face anytime I mention anything starting with the letter R, but like I want to see a League RPG.
if it's like Assassin's Creed, maybe I'd consider it.
Yeah, no, I want something like the Assassin's Creed RPGs, like set in the League of Legends universe or set in the Arcane universe. I don't really care who the main character would be, or if it's like Genshin where there's like multiple main characters or something. Like, I really don't care. I just want to see that. That'd be really cool. Really good way to expand the universe and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot they could do with it. Like I say with Harry Potter, it could be Star Wars.
It could be so many franchises really could be the next Star Wars, and I feel like Star Wars is one of the only like franchises actually capitalizing on that, and there really need to be more.
Trust me, we could go on a Harry Potter about Harry Potter anytime. So, is that all you guys got to say about Arcane?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
Moving on to comics. I'm gonna do my weekly comic pull. I've been reading a lot. Like I've been reading more. I've read a lot of comics this week. So starting with Radiant Black. Speaking of Power Rangers. So what?
I've read 0 comics this week. You just reminded me. I'm like, this is the first week in like years that I've read no comics.
But yeah, I read Radiant Black, which is the Power Rangers Black comic. Like a few issues ago, Radiant Black was like hospitalized, so his friend took the suit and became Radiant Black, and went to go essentially murder the person that put him in the hospital. But after all that, he realized that there's a way he could potentially save his life because he's in a coma, he's in the hospital, and they were about to pull the plug. And that's essentially how that issue ended. Like the most recent issue just came out. I haven't read it yet though because I already have a bunch of comics to talk about, and I want to have to talk about that too. Harley Quinn, he being killed to her. I sent you some pictures. They introduced Nightwing in the Harley Quinn anime. And the whole time they just kept making jokes about Nightwing's butt because he's known for having a very nice butt.
The sexual tension between literally every character not related to him and Nightwing's butt is like insane.
I saw
like,
you like retweet an image, Dijon, about Nightwing's butt, like him pulling up his pants in the mirror. I was like, dang, they really made him that thick? Hold up.
That's how thick he is in the comics too. Everybody draws him thick because he just is. Like literally,
I ain't got no issue with that either.
Somebody posted, but they was like, damn, Nightwing is thicker than Batgirl.
It's Jason Todd with the thighs and Dick Grayson with the ass. That's how it always is. Jason Todd is like the thickest thighs in comics, and Dick Grayson is the best ass in comics. That's how it goes.
Yeah, Harley and Ivy is still trying to escape Gordon. Gordon is so funny in that show. He is hilarious. He's just an insane cop who's drunk all the time, and his wife is cheating on him, and he's just trying to be a good police officer. And
Oh, that's hilarious because he cheated on her in year one.
oh, that's crazy.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, Static. Um, he finally got his first costume, which is heavily based off of his original costume from the comics. Except that he has like a firefighter jacket over top of it to protect himself from Static. In this universe, he got his powers from the police through like a experimental gas when they were having a Black Lives Matter protest. And
Dang.
so a lot of the people who became metahumans were essentially abducted by the government. So in this issue, Static went to go save them and ended up getting in a fight with a villain whose name I can't remember. He just used fire. And at the end, he got his face burned off. I assume he's gonna heal from it. Icon and Rocket. For people who don't know, because Brianna, you might not know, Icon is, in a lot of ways, he's kind of like Black Superman. Except that he came to Earth during slavery.
Oh.
and for a significant portion of his, the first years he was on Earth, he couldn't use his powers. So he was just a slave.
Oh my goodness.
So he's Black Superman, and he came to Earth during slavery. But he essentially he tried to help, but it didn't work out the way he wanted it to. So he just hid in plain sight for years. And now it's modern day. And when some people broke into his mansion, one of the people, who was a woman named Raquel, convinced him to actually become a superhero. So they're slowly kind of taking out like drug lords across the world, and in the process destabilizing essentially governments all across the world, because they low-key rely on the money that drugs bring in to their countries. So currently, the government sent out another alien that they have that kills other aliens to kill him, which they tried before, but it didn't work. In the process, they sent the alien after Raquel's mother. But some random woman saved her. I still don't know who this woman is. She hasn't given her name. I just know she has a sword and she has telekinesis and she's Black. That's all I know. And that's just all that happened. And they took his mom to a safe house. Black Manta, which you were confused about last time when I was talking about it, Amir. They introduced Devil Ray. Do you remember Devil Ray from Justice League Unlimited?
I do remember Devil Ray.
They introduced Devil Ray as an actual character in the comics now, and he has the exact same costume that he had in Justice League Unlimited too. His goal is essentially, he says, is to take over Atlantis for Black people specifically, and essentially turn it into Wakanda, but underwater. And it was also hinted at that Atlantis has some type of connection to Africa, and that Black Manta might have like Atlantean DNA from like generations back. So they're tying that in somehow. But in the back of Aquaman with Jackson Hyde, those are Batgirl's, what is it called? I forget what they call it. But there was like a Batgirl's preview. And it looks cool. You got Cassandra Cain in it. You like yourself some Cassandra Cain.
Love me some Cassandra Cain. Love me some Bat Family in general. Like
Yeah, it's Cassandra Cain and spoiler and Barbara. And our style looks really good. I'm sure you've seen some of the covers online. But yeah, you might be interested in checking it out. Just for that one character. But Aquaman with Calderon, well, not Calderon, I think he just goes by Jackson Hyde in the comics.
Calderon is a cooler name. I don't care.
Calderon is a cool name. It still is his name, but it's like his Atlantean name. But his
like how Kal-El is Superman's.
Yeah, it's like Kal-El and Clark Kent. Yeah. But he actually went to Happy Harbor in the show. He got teleported to Happy Harbor while he was running away from some Atlantean soldiers because he was framed for some terrorist act. And this version of Aqualad, Brianna, was actually created for Young Justice. So just like Harley Quinn was created for Batman the Animated Series, he was created for the cartoon. But for some reason, they decided 3 months before the show came out they should put him in the comics so that they could say that he started in the comics, despite the fact that his character was created specifically for the cartoon. But yeah, he has a sister. That's the revelation that happened in that one. But that's all I have for comics. I read a lot of comics. I was gonna read Nubia, but I didn't end up reading it. I read like half of it while I was in a movie theater waiting for the previews to be over. I'll finish that later. Talk about it next week. TV and film. I promise you, I don't usually go that long about the comics beyond. I just read.
No, you're fine.
You're
the one editing.
I am the one editing. Kojima Productions is launching film, TV, and music division. I want to see
Kojima. See what some Hideo Kojima music is going to sound like.
I mean, the music in the games are fire.
The music in the games are fire, but what I'm immediately thinking of is some kind of like trippy ARG where like if you listen to it backwards at a certain speed or something like that, like a whole new.
Kojima is definitely going to make some trippy music. I want to see them make an animated series. They didn't. I mean, they didn't specify live action or animated, but I assume it's both live action and animated. And I would love to see Kojima work on some type of animated series or film. But every single one of his games have tons of film influences, especially the Metal Gear games. So I'm excited to see what he does in that place. Sabine was cast for Ahsoka. Natasha Liu Bordizzo, I believe is how you pronounce it, will be Sabine Wren in the Ahsoka series. Ahsoka's favorite Star Wars character. They're picking up her story where it left off in Rebels. I'm excited to see where they go with it. Another thing you will love, Justice League Dark. They are making a Constantine show, a Zatanna show, and a Madame Xanadu show for HBO Max, produced by J.J. Abrams. And it's all going to lead up to a Justice League Dark live action show on HBO Max. And I know you're excited for that.
Sort of, but
I sort of.
Honestly, not as much as I used to be, because I heard a lot of rumors about that like a while ago that didn't have me exactly.
Yeah, they also said that they wanted him to be black in this show.
Which I mean, like, I don't really have a problem with, but at the same time, like, I don't understand why they won't just cast Matt Ryan, because he's literally the perfect Constantine. Like, they get him to play Constantine in literally everything, like every animated movie, every video game. Like, no, he's Constantine. Like, I just bring back Matt. Like, come on.
He's tired of it. Maybe he's tired of it.
If he's tired of it, I feel like he would have quit. He would have quit working at the CW. He's still Constantine on the CW. He's still Constantine on Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, if he was really tired of it, I don't know. I just don't think. I don't think he was tired of it. I want Matt Ryan, man. That man is Constantine. Like, you can't have Constantine without Matt Ryan.
Yeah. So there were some new castings for the live action Avatar series. Paul Sung-hyun Lee from Kim's Convenience is going to be Uncle Iroh. Ken Leung he was in The Force Awakens, is going to be Commander Zhao. And Lim K-soo, he was in the show called Night Watch, is going to be Monkey Yatsa. The casting for this show looks good. It gives me...
Wait. It's a show?
Yes. Well, you thought it was
I thought it would be another movie. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this.
Because
a lot of live actions lately have been kind of disappointing me.
I mean, yeah, especially on Netflix. But I'm actually, we're gonna get to this, but I'm just gonna give a little brief glimpse. I like the Cowboy Bebop live action, but we'll get to that. There was definitely a trailer for Spider-Man between this and the last episode. I was not feeling it. I'm not excited for this movie. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm like not excited for this movie at all. I don't know how you feel.
I just want to see Andrew and Toby. I don't even necessarily want to see Toby come back. I just want to see Andrew and Charlie Cox come back. That's literally where my excitement ends. I don't care what happens to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I don't care what happens. Like, I don't care what happens to his cast of characters. I don't care. I just want Matt Murdock and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man back. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. I saw a tweet that said like quote retweet with your most controversial Spider-Man MCU Spider-Man take, and I said, I don't give a damn. I don't care about that version of Spider-Man. To me, he lacks. He's not suffering enough for my taste.
Suffering?
I like my Spider-Man to go through heart-wrenching suffering at a near constant basis.
I like my Spider-Man with a taste
Going through
a
it.
taste of crippling existential dread. That's what
Yeah.
I like my. That's how I like my Spider-Man.
I like my Spider-Man to be going through it all the time.
I like my Spider-Man with a little drizzle of depression. You know?
Yes. I like my Spider-Man with a huge drizzle of depression. This version of Spider-Man is just not depressed enough. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, he lost what, Iron Man or whatever.
He lost
heartbroken, but
he lost the person that he knew for like a couple months. Look,
Yeah, I was gonna say he knew Iron Man for like what, like a year and a half, and they barely interacted in that
not
year and
only
a half.
that,
Like,
yeah. Not only that, we didn't care about the fact that he was sad that Iron Man died. We were just sad that Iron Man died.
yeah.
He was literally feeding off the audience's sadness. Like,
Yeah, because like we didn't get to see them interact enough for us to really feel for him losing a mentor, because they barely interacted. What? He went, picked him up in Civil War, he talked to him a little bit in Infinity War and Endgame, and then he's dead. Like, they barely interacted for us to care. The best part of those movies are the villains. Vulture was great. Mysterio, they made him work, which I have been wanting Mysterio in live action for a long time. And they actually made him work. I was happy to see it. I
mean, it was okay. To me, it was kind of silly about like hearing their backstories of why they became evil. It's like, yeah, Stark, he's trash. He didn't like my invention, so I turned evil.
I think that's the most accurate Tony has been to his character, his comic counterpart in the MCU, is the fact that he's trash. He's not a good person ever. He's such a horrible person. He gets better.
I just thought it was funny. I was like, really, guys? Really?
Yeah, that's
literally part of the reason they made Iron Man movies is because at that point in the comics, like by the 2007, 2008 standpoint in the comics, Tony was so close to being a villain that like they needed something to redeem him because he just wasn't being redeemed in the comics. And I feel like that got that across really well.
They should have let that man turn into a villain.
Right. He should have been a villain.
It's basically
Superior Iron Man is the only Iron Man series that I've ever finished, and I really think that Tony as a villain works more than anything else.
Yeah, Tony, both Iron Man and Reed Richards are always on the cusp of villainy. Not even really on the cusp. Half of the time they are just straight up villains. But yeah, that's
Yeah, no, after Civil War, Tony was like, he was literally like blatantly being like literally villainized. Like he was just a villain at that point. And they were like, let's just make an Iron Man movie and reset everybody's interpretation of Iron Man real quick because this don't work.
Yeah. So I saw Resident Evil. It was entertaining.
Who was it? A show or a movie? I forget.
It was a movie.
Okay.
It was entertaining. It was overall like a 2 out of 5. It was okay. I had fun. I did enjoy it, but I can't say it was particularly good. But if I enjoyed it, it was okay. I was afraid that they were doing too much in this one movie because they were taking stuff from the first game and the second game and putting it into one movie. And then I looked it up, and it's an hour and 45 minutes long, which is definitely not enough time to try and fit in both those stories. And after I finished watching, I was like, they could have made it work if the movie was longer. They needed it to be like 2 hours 30, maybe longer, if they were going to try to fit all of that in. But I also feel like it was unnecessary for them to try to shove 2 movies into one. I feel like it should have just been Resident Evil 1, which is a great story. It could have been an hour, 30 minutes. It could have been a nice, cheesy horror film, which also, I like the tone of the film. The tone was really good. It was a little scary. It wasn't super scary, but there were a couple of jump scares that caught my little brother. He was fully prepared for that too. He came in expecting jump scares and he received it. There were some interesting ideas, but all of these ideas would have been much better if they were in 2 separate films. That's just my opinion of it. It was okay. It would have been great if they did 2 separate films. They also completely changed Leon's character. He is like the son of a famous cop, and he's kind of a screw up rather than just being a rookie.
No more super cop?
Yeah, he's a screw up rather than a rookie that's going to eventually become a person that like kicks zombies in the face.
I haven't actually watched the movie.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean,
Leon Super Cop Kennedy is like one
I'll
of
say it's
my
worth
favorite video game characters of all time. Now I'm a little sad.
Yeah, they changed his character a lot. He'll probably still become the super cop, but instead of starting off as like a fresh-faced rookie, he's starting off as a screw-up. Hawkeye. Oh, honestly, first 2 episodes were not interesting or hope-filling. They were boring for me. I don't know how you felt about it.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I didn't think I was gonna like it. I really didn't think I was gonna like it. I still do not like MCU Clint Barton. He's literally just Jason Bourne with a bow and arrow. Like
I don't like him.
MCU Clint Barton, MCU Clint is literally just Jason Bourne. Like that's not Hawkeye in the comics. He's literally Jason Bourne with a bow and arrow. Like I don't understand
At least
why
there's
they
no
made the
shaky
decisions
cam.
they made.
At
Which is
least there's no shaky cam like there was in Black Widow.
that's true. At least there wasn't the shaky cam. Um, as a matter of fact, wasn't there a Jason Bourne movie with Jeremy Renner as the main character?
Yes. No, that was Mission Impossible.
No, I could have sworn it was a no. It was a Jason Bourne movie. It was a Jason
Are you
Bourne
sure about
spinoff.
that? I know there was a
I'm
Mission
pretty.
Impossible.
I'm almost like 300% positive. Like I'm almost positive. Look it up to be sure, but I'm almost like 110% positive.
Okay.
But like that's like he literally is playing the exact same character from that movie as Hawkeye. Like that is not Hawkeye. That's not.
Oh my God, there was.
I was gonna say I could have sworn. I could have sworn because my mom went to Morgan. My mom went back to school. She went to Morgan, and I remember seeing like the trailer or like the trailer of it, like sitting at the little cafeteria, or whatever. Like the TV playing above was playing the trailer, and I could have sworn I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a Jason Bourne movie.
Yeah, that's from
But he's
2012.
literally playing that character.
Born like
Like he's literally playing just a super spy. Like that's not Hawkeye. That's not Hawkeye at all.
I
And
was hoping
this,
that, and I still think they will. I think they're just taking a different approach with it, that they're going to try to make his character more in line with the comic version, because his character in the MCU is very inconsistent, and that's the reason why I'm not the biggest fan of this version of Hawkeye. Sometimes he's jokey and funny, sometimes he's overly serious, um, sometimes he's just a family man, and there's no consistency with his character. I was hoping that with this show they would not only make his character more consistent, but make him a bit more lighthearted. But they definitely are making his character more consistent, but not in the direction I would like them to. They're making him, he's still like a stone wall. He's a brick wall. And Kate is, everything she's saying is just bouncing off of him. He doesn't care. Kate's great.
oh yeah, no, Kate is great in the
I
show.
feel like
I was getting to that
who
point. Kate is amazing in the show.
also voices Vi in Arcane and does a great job. Um, is she's a really good Kate. And I'm more excited to see what they're doing with Kate, but I'm hoping that with the whole branding discussion that they had, that he's actually going to try to become a more likable person and a person that's enjoyable to watch.
I hope so too, because I don't know. MCU Hawkeye is based on Ultimate Comics Hawkeye, and I don't know if you know about Ultimate Comics Hawkeye or not, but he's literally so hated in the comics that like no, like
Yeah.
it didn't get so bad as to like New 52 Superman, where he was so hated they killed off New 52 Superman and literally replaced him with Post Crisis Superman, but like they almost killed him multiple times because people did not like him. Like people hated
I
Ultimate
hope,
Universe Hawkeye, and that's the universe that this one's based off of. That's the exact version of Hawkeye this one's based off of. And it's not. I love Kate. Kate is awesome. Kate is
I
great.
hope that
Uh,
I hope that the LARPing thing comes back around, because that scene would have been so much more interesting if he actually got into it and started like actually having fun with it. But the whole time he was just bored. And I
I
was hoping,
know for a fact that it's going to come back around, but not like how you think it will. Just Grills is going to be more important. That's all I'm going to say. Grills is going to be more important as a character.
yeah, I feel like the way they introduced him was a character that will come back around in some way.
He definitely is. Like the 2012 Hawkeye series, is my favorite Hawkeye series, and that's what they're basing this off of primarily.
Only reason I was excited for it. Literally the only reason I was excited for it.
That's my favorite comic of all time. I reread that like at least 3 times a year.
I haven't finished it.
You gotta finish it. You've gotta finish it. It's so good. Wait, it's really funny to me that they kind of replace everything that Clint does in the 2012 Hawkeye series and let Kate do it instead. Like literally everything from saving Lucky to the first interactions with the tracksuit mafia. They literally give her his apartment. Like that apartment is literally Clint's apartment in the comics. But again, I love Kate in this show, so it doesn't really matter to me that much. Her
Especially
origin is
because,
both. Oh, go ahead.
I'll just say, especially with like the controversy going around with Jeremy Renner and stuff, I feel like they're definitely trying to push him out and just be like, okay, come on, Kate, you're much more interesting.
It's actually really funny because Jeremy Renner said that he told Disney to recast him if they needed to recast him because he wanted to spend time with his daughter. And I'm like, if y'all just recast him and then reboot Clint or like as a character, like if they didn't, I feel like if they didn't make this show, they really could have rebooted him or like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not reboot.
Recast.
Not just recast, like,
I don't know.
It starts with the R. I'm
Retail.
retcon and retcon. Thank you, retcon.
Okay, retcon.
If they like recasted him and then like retcon most of his character, had they not made this show with Jeremy Renner, I'm like they really could have made a much more accurate Clint Barton, and I don't think I would have had a problem at that point.
So I don't want to go on about this too long.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna let it go.
So Cowboy Bebop. I don't think you've seen any of it yet. So I'm gonna give a spoiler free, review of it. I enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. I think it's up there with the live action Ghost in the Shell, which got a lot of flack because of the stupid comments that Scarlett Johansson made about being able to play whatever race she wants, and she completely ruined everything about that movie for a lot of people. And then I found
those memes about her playing anything.
Yeah,
people hilarious.
People to this day still make jokes about it, and it is so funny. And the thing is, if you look deeper into the original show itself and this movie, Scarlett Johansson playing Major Makoto wasn't ever a problem. All she had to do, Scarlett Johansson, was say nothing. That's all she had to do. But instead, she made a stupid comment. Because the whole point of Major Makoto is that she is a Japanese woman in another body. Because
very Psylocke-esque.
Yeah, because something happened to her original body. Oh, Psylocke is a whole different discussion.
Psylocke is a white person that became Japanese. Psylocke, similarly because it's not the same race.
Psylocke is way different. But
we should have a discussion about Psylocke, probably off pod.
Psylocke one day.
Okay.
But Cowboy Bebop is good. I enjoyed it. They really nailed both Jet and Spike, their personalities and their dynamic. The only difference with Spike is that Spike is a lot, I feel like he gets more aggravated in this, not like super angry, but like agitated, like how he would get agitated with like Ein and Ed and Faye in the show. I feel like it's just more of that type of agitation with him always being annoyed by stuff.
They turned him into a Monster Energy Kyle.
Yeah, their dynamic is really great. Episode 3 is hilarious. Once you get there, you'll know exactly what I mean.
Okay.
Of the main crew, Faye is the most different. She's a bit more abrasive. She cusses a lot more, but like the fundamentals of her like core character are pretty much the exact same. Everything about her and her motivations are the same. So she's still recognizable as Faye, and the actress does a good job playing her. My criticism starts with Vicious and Julia, without spoiling anything. I'm not the biggest fan of the changes they made to Vicious's character. They also decided to delve further into his background and his goals, which isn't a bad idea. I think that's pretty cool. But the way they decided to mold him to the story that they're trying to tell, rather than molding the character that we already know to the story they're trying to tell, is weird to me. Because with every other character, they kept the original personality and then molded the story around that. But with him, they essentially completely changed it. A lot about him. He's a very different character. And I don't like it. Julia, I don't dislike what they're doing with Julia. I just think that they didn't quite stick the landing with what they were trying to do. And hopefully it's better next season. Overall, it's a huge step forward for live action anime, but still not quite there. I do want to talk about some live action anime at the very end if we have enough time. But before that, Dune. I don't have much to say about it other than I enjoyed it. And that it felt like the first 3 episodes of a series rather than a movie, because it ends very abruptly. And you feel like there's going to be more, but there isn't, and there probably won't be for like another 2 years, which is kind of tragic.
Looking at how long it took to make this.
I would prefer this be a series rather than a movie, if I'm being honest. That way I at least would have got a full story. It was beautiful. You're right. It was very beautiful. That's all I really have to say. I don't have much to say about the movie other than that, especially since I don't want to spoil it. So, you got anything to say before we go on to Multiversus?
No, it's a very good movie. I know I'm gonna get flack for this, especially because I have like the super sci-fi fan reputation, but I haven't finished reading the first book. I'm literally on page 25 of the first book. It's much like how you say it was hard for you to get through The Witcher because of the wording, which I mean I can see where you're coming from. I didn't have a problem with The Witcher. I have so much trouble getting through Dune because of the wording. it's kind of insane. And after a while, I just kind of gave up. I gave up on page 25. I tried to reread this book like 3 times. I'm gonna try again in like 2 years.
Yeah, and that
After I
book
finish college
that
and
book's
maybe
from
think that my degree
I,
will
I,
be good.
I could imagine. I'm not interested enough in the series to read the books, but I'm liking the movies. So Warner Brothers announced. What the hell was that? It just echoed.
I plugged in my charger to my laptop and it made a weird sound.
Okay, but Warner Brothers Multiversus, it's real. The rumors were true. Warner Brothers is making a Smash Bros. Like platform fighter with Cartoon Network and just WB characters in general. They had Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, Finn and Jake, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Harley Quinn. It looks interesting. It's free to play, so I definitely play it because it's free. So why not? And something they're doing that I like that Smash Bros. Hasn't done because there are just too many characters for them to do it with, is that each character will actually they will have different costumes as you can get. Whereas in Smash Bros, some characters had different costumes, but not all of them did. And a lot of them have a bunch of different costumes you would have liked to see them in, but you just couldn't because they didn't have the capacity to make them because there's like 100 characters in the game, or close to 100. I think there's like 97 or something like that. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see what they do with this game. I won't say I'm excited for it necessarily, but it's free to play, so I'll play it. But there'll be, because it's a games as a service, they'll be slowly adding characters across time. And the 2 characters I'm most interested in seeing is Samurai Jack and Ben 10. I really want to see what they're going to do with Ben 10 because there's no way they're not going to add Ben 10 to this game. The question is, do you think they add Ben 10 as a character by himself or different aliens like they do with Pokemon in Smash Bros?
I feel like different aliens.
I think they're gonna.
I do too.
I think they're gonna add. I think they're gonna do different. No, I think they're gonna do Ben 10 by himself, but I think it's gonna be more Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah,
like he switches. Yeah, like he switches, and in the middle of the transformation, you see Ben. But like he transfer, like you're never able to play just Ben himself. I think they're gonna do like the Pokemon Trainer thing.
That could be cool because yeah, with Pokemon Trainer they could do both. Because with Pokemon Trainer you have the Pokemon Trainer by themselves, and with
you
Pokemon,
also have each individual.
you can switch. Yeah, and you can switch between Ivysaur, Charizard, and Bulbasaur. Not Bulbasaur, Squirtle. But then you also have Jigglypuff by himself. You have Pikachu by themselves. You have that other. The first evolution of Pikachu, I forget the name of it.
Pichu,
there it is. I thought that's what it was.
This is coming from someone who hasn't played Pokemon in like 6 years.
Yeah, they have
you gotta do better.
Like they have the actual Pokemon Trainer, and then they have several other Pokemon. They could do that with Ben 10. They have one version of Ben 10 that has like three aliens, and then you have the other aliens. What do you think those 3 aliens would be? I'm thinking Diamond Head.
I want to see Diamond Head so bad. I don't care what other aliens have to get pushed. I don't care if Diamond Head is his own character. Diamond Head is my favorite Ben 10 alien. I just want
Diamond Head's also my favorite, but I'm thinking Diamond Head, Heat Blast. Who would that third one be? Of the original 10 from the first.
Accelerate, probably Accelerate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Accelerate, Diamond Head, and Heat Blast is what I'm thinking.
That's a perfect 3.
I would love to see Big Chill. I really like Big Chill.
Ooh, okay.
Big Chill's cool.
I feel like the interactions, because I feel like the team dynamic in this game as opposed to Smash is way different. I would like to see gray matter in this game. Just to see the team dynamic.
I don't know about that.
I can see the team dynamic going crazy with gray matter.
Actually, I'll take that back. Diamond Head is my second favorite. Way Big is my favorite Ben 10 alien.
Really?
Yeah, Way Big is my favorite. Way Big has been my favorite. I first saw Way Big in that first Ben 10 movie where he just picks up Vilgax and throws him into space.
You know what's crazy? Ben 10 had some interesting live action movies I completely forgot about.
Yeah.
They had live actions?
You didn't see?
They had a bunch of live actions.
No, I did not.
They had at least 2, but there might have been 3.
I think there were 3. I'm almost positive there were 3.
There was one for the original series. There was another one for Alien Force. And there might have been another one that was either for the original series or for Alien Force. But yeah,
they weren't terrible.
They were.
Okay, no, granted, I haven't seen them since I was like 11, So now in my memory, they weren't that bad.
I guess for Cartoon Network original movies, they were all right. Because you don't hear people talk about Cartoon Network original movies like they do Disney Channel original movies.
Yeah,
Yes, they
I have
are.
never heard of this.
No, I definitely remember. I definitely remember some little clips of Ben 10.
I want to end this with something that I know all of us can talk a lot about. This is going to be on a discussion of live action anime. We're going to talk about Naruto. What if it had a live action? So I know everyone here has seen Naruto. I don't know if you've seen all of it though, Brianna.
I've seen most of it, yeah.
Okay.
Good chunk.
10 minutes again. Okay, we'll have to try to do some 10 minutes. Yeah, Naruto's great. So how far? Because I don't want to get into spoilers.
I watched a couple of the movies, all the way up into Shippuden. Actually, I think more after that, and then I watched a bit of Boruto.
Okay.
Did you get to Pain? Like, because Pain is really where the big spoilers start to come in.
I got to Pain.
So I'm not really gonna, like, we don't really have to go into spoilers with this discussion. But last podcast we talked about live action anime and how they could learn from aspects of the original story that kind of got lost as it went on. Like with Dragon Ball Z, it eventually became Goku fighting gods in space.
Yeah, basically.
But the basis of Dragon Ball originally was martial arts. So I feel like if they were to make a live action Dragon Ball, if they focused on the martial arts elements, they could make a really good movie. The example that we use is Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi is pretty much what a Dragon Ball movie could be like. And Shang-Chi is amazing. Have you seen Shang-Chi?
Nope.
It's good.
Oh my God.
It's on Disney Plus. So
okay.
If you have Disney Plus or know someone has Disney Plus, you can watch it there. It's really good.
I'm in pain that you said no. Like, stop it. Like, go watch it. It's my favorite MCU movie. I don't understand.
It was really good. It shot up my list. But yeah. With Naruto, we talk about how Naruto could focus more on the ninja aspect. I just called them a ninja with the hard ER.
God.
What did he say? No, but
but they could focus on the ninja aspect, because just like with Dragon Ball Z, the longer Naruto goes on, it becomes less about ninjas.
Yeah, basically. The
characters literally become gods. They are literally demigods, if I'm not mistaken. But
Naruto and Sasuke are literally demigods, yeah.
Like, what is it? Aliens? Just like Dragon Ball Z, they introduce aliens for no reason. Why?
Actually, Kishimoto, if I remember correctly, said the whole reason he introduced Kaguya and the Otsutsuki is because he made Madara too powerful and brought himself into a corner. And I'm like, that's kind of hilarious.
The thing is, I think that
this man made Madara too powerful and brought himself into a corner. I think
that doesn't make sense because they literally, I'm trying to think. Have you seen the end of Naruto? Like the Great Ninja War at the end?
Yeah.
Who, me?
Okay, so I feel like Zetsu killing Madara, they could have just stuck with that.
They could have, yeah.
They could have just stuck with Zetsu betraying Madara, and that's how they won. They didn't need to then bring in Kagura, who Zetsu was working for the whole time. They could have just literally just been, okay, Zetsu betrayed Madara, and that's how it ended.
But then how would they kill Zetsu?
I don't know. You're right.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, look, I'm pretty sure you thought about that.
We're not here to rewrite Naruto. We're here to talk about a live action. I feel like they could lean into the ninja aspect. And also something I feel like they kind of touch on, but never go far enough with, is the fact that they are literally child soldiers. And they are forcing these children from a young age to train to become a ninja and go and fight wars. And they touch on it a lot, specifically with Kakashi, because he lost a lot of friends.
He lost so many people, bro.
I feel like they could really lean into that aspect with a live action version and actually make it seem as horrible as it is. And I feel like something that they could have done with, moving on from Naruto to Boruto is push for the fact that maybe you can no longer become a ninja when you're a child. You have to like become 18 and then have to enlist like the army, rather than being trained when you're a kid to become a ninja.
I feel like Sasuke is the perfect character to really do that for, because Sasuke was really kind of leaning into that aspect of like how horrible the village is and reshaping like ninja life.
Ooh, they give me like My Hero vibes, to be honest.
So good. Sasuke would definitely be a person that pushes for that. Like, we should not have these kids be ninja,
because that's essentially what he was pushing for, kind of, when he started to go down like the more villainous route, like at the end of the Ninja War. Like, that's basically what he was talking about. Is like, he was like, this system
It
It's
sucked.
literally terrible. Like he's like, this is like the worst thing ever, and you guys are defending it. No, I'm taking this down.
You know what would be funny
Like,
if it
yeah,
was
no.
like they just had like they changed it to where like the Kage are like voted on, like you vote for a Kage to make it a democracy, and it's like Naruto versus Sasuke trying to become the Hokage of Konohagakure, and that's like the argument. That would be cool. But yeah, I think they could definitely lean into that. Also, Sakura should have been with Lee,
Yeah, yeah,
not Sasuke.
yeah.
Sasuke sucked. He was not good to her. Lee was a gentleman the whole time.
She should not have been with Lee. If anything, she should have been with Naruto.
She should have been with somebody.
Also, imagine how. Oh, Sai would have been cool. But imagine how powerful their child would have been. The taijutsu skill of Lee combined with the strength of Sakura, they would have been a god. Oh, on top of the fact,
I mean, Sada is already
also,
kind of a god.
Imagine if they also had that mark. I forget what it's called. That healing mark. And they use the 8 gates, but they're constantly healing themselves at the same time so they can use the gates longer. Look, the possibilities are endless if they had a child. Their child would be the most powerful ninja on the face of the earth.
They were going for the girl gets the guy at the end, but the guy freaking hates her and is never around.
Exactly. He literally tried to kill her multiple times.
Yes, left her in the dust. He's barely there for his child now. Like he's trying, but no.
To be fair to Sasuke, the whole reason he's not there for Sakura is not his. That has nothing to do with him. That has everything to do with Naruto.
Naruto's also
Naruto
trash.
has him off. Naruto is trash. Like Naruto's literally my least favorite character.
Why can't they make
I don't like Naruto.
Why can't
I don't know.
Like my least favorite, and he isn't even like the worst in comparison to some others who actually abuse their children. But this one is the worst to me because it actually hits home as a person whose dad isn't around. I have my stepdad who's great, but my actual dad sucks. And Jing from Hunter x Hunter is.
I was actually about to say, is it gonna be Don's dad?
In all of anime history, he sucks so bad. He literally had a child when he was like. And he's like, I think he was a teenager, and he just took the child, gave it to his cousin, and said, "Take care of this child for me. I don't want him," and left and dipped. And then he set up a bunch of like obstacles for his son to potentially find him as like a game. But then when he actually was in proximity of his son, he still didn't want to meet that man, despite the fact that he low-key set it all up. I hate him. Hate his guts.
What the heck? What was the point?
I hate him. And it's
my least favorite anime dad
sad, and
is
it's
definitely
sad. Because Hunter x Hunter is one of those shows that kind of teeters the edge of being a little dark, especially in the Chimera Ant arc. And sometimes they touch on the fact that Gon wants to meet his dad so bad, and he's so excited. And he always says, being a hunter must be the best thing in the world because my dad left me to be a hunter.
No!
It's so sad. It sucks. I hate you so much. But we only have 2 minutes left, so we gotta wrap this up.
What a way to end.
We just end on deadbeat dads in anime. We're gonna have to have a whole discussion about that one day. Just deadbeat dads in anime. We have to rank them. Goku's up there, but
Goku. I don't care what anyone says. Goku is literally number 1. I don't care. Goku.
He is better, but we have less than a minute. So don't forget to wait. I forget. I always. Amir knows. Every time we get to the end of the podcast, I forget how I do it. I don't remember. I'm Dijon. You can find my ad below me. I'm going to put Brianna's ad on the screen as well, and Amir's ad is on the screen.
Put mine on my hat.
As well as the Mustardcast ad. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more storytelling content, and to click the notification bell so that you're notified when we post. Every time we end, I forget how to.